What to do, YouTube, man? It's your boy there, man. We back with some more info, man, for your brain. We still on the power of the subconscious mind. I've been slacking, missing chapters, but we working. But look, if you ain't got this book on Amazon or any for the book fair, you slacking, bro. Don't you want to change your life? Because the way we thinking, bro, we don't think like this, bro. So if you change the way you thinking, you can change your life. But we're on chapter 12. If you ain't caught up, you can go through 1 all the way up to 12, bro. And catch up with me. I'm not the best reader, but you see me trying. Not even see you trying, you see me doing it. So look, chapter 12, how scientists use their subconscious mind. Disclaimer, the audio book is off a little bit with this. It's not the same, so you're gonna have to follow along. Then I'm gonna try to catch up with you and tell you where we at. Other than that, just stay tuned.
Scientists use the subconscious mind. Many scientists realize the true importance of the subconscious mind. Edison, Marconi, Kettering, Poincare, Einstein, and many others have used the subconscious mind. It has given them the insight and the know-how for all the great achievements in modern science and industry. Research has shown that the ability to bring into action the subconscious power.
Wow, I just...
Look, it's messing up already. I'm up here touching stuff. No.
The most amazing workflow on Monday.com.
You build your own workflow? Why? There are a bunch of
Okay. Let's go to chapter 12, bro. Chapter 12.
Chapter 12. Scientists use the subconscious mind.
Yeah.
Many scientists realize the true importance of the subconscious mind. Edison, Marconi, Kettering, Poincare, Einstein, and many others have used the subconscious mind. It has given them the insight and the know-how for all the great achievements in modern science and industry. Research has shown that the ability to bring into action the subconscious power has determined the success of all the great scientific and research workers. An instance of how a famous chemist, Friedrich von Stradonitz, used his subconscious mind to solve his problems is as follows. He had been working laboriously for a long time trying to rearrange the 6 carbon and the 6 hydrogen atoms of the benzene formula, and he was constantly perplexed and unable to solve the matter. Tired and exhausted, he turned the request over completely to his subconscious mind. Shortly afterward, as he was about to board a London bus, his subconscious presented his conscious mind with a sudden flash of a snake biting its own tail and turning around like a pinwheel. This answer from his subconscious mind gave him the long-sought answer of the circular rearrangement of the atoms that is known as the benzene ring. How a distinguished scientist brought forth his inventions. Nikola Tesla was a brilliant electrical scientist who brought forth the most amazing innovations. When an idea for a new invention came into his mind, he would build it up in his imagination, knowing that his subconscious mind would reconstruct and reveal to his conscious mind all the parts needed for its manufacture in concrete form. Through quietly contemplating every possible improvement, he spent no time in correcting defects and was able to give the technicians the perfect product of his mind.
This book is off. I'm going to try to read a little bit the key points. So basically, one of the things one of the most amazing examples of this can be found in life, the celebrated chemist, the little Vine dudes, he was struggling with the hydrocarbon thing, right? So what he did, I gotta break it down. I ain't the best, but we trying. Not trying, we doing. Basically, he was having trouble trying to fix the little carbon stuff, right? So all his efforts led nowhere. Unable to solve the riddle, he tried and exhausted. He turned the metal over to his subconscious mind. Shortly after that, he was aboard a London bus, and his subconscious mind presented his conscious mind with a sudden flash in his mind. He saw the image of a snake biting his own tail, turning around like a pinwheel. The message from his subconscious mind inspired him to go to a different direction. Soon he arrived with the long shot answered, and he came up with that benzene ring, right? Then he said, Nikola Tesla was a brilliant pioneer in the field of electricity. The Tesla coil at an exhibit in Science Museum that's always a favorite with children was only one of his inventions. This is a charged metal spirit. When someone touches it, the static electricity makes his or her hair stand up. Tesla also experimented with the concept of broadcasting energy. His ideas on this topic are still considered revolutionary. I can't ever talk. Legendary. Tesla was a convinced user of the power of the subconscious mind. Whenever he had an idea for a new invention or a new research direction, he would build it up in his imagination. So basically, he was using his imagination, bro. That's what I was trying to get y'all to do. Then it would turn over to his subconscious mind. He knew the subconscious mind will reconstruct and reveal to his conscious mind all the parts he needed for its manufacture in concrete form. So, imagine it. Let your subconscious mind take it, and they'll show you everything. So that's the point where I'm trying to get. I'm trying to let my subconscious mind lead me down the path. So, build it up in his imagination, then turn it over to his subconscious mind. And he knew his subconscious mind would reconstruct and reveal to his conscious mind all the parts needed for his manufacture in concrete form to quietly contempting every possible improvement. He wasted no time on correcting defaults. He was able to give the technicians working with him perfect end product of his mind. An interview, he said, invariably, my device works as I imagine it should. In 20 years, there has been a single exception.
He said, invariably, my device works as I imagined it should. In 20 years, there has not been a single exception.
See?
How a famous naturalist solved his problem. Professor Agassiz, a distinguished American naturalist, discovered the indefatigable activities of his subconscious mind while he slept. The following has been reported by his widow in her biography of her famous husband. He had been for 2 weeks striving to decipher the somewhat obscure impression of a fossil fish on the stone slab in which it was preserved. Weary and perplexed, he put his work aside at last and tried to dismiss it from his mind.
Okay.
Shortly after, he waked one night, persuaded that while asleep, he had seen his fish with all the missing features perfectly restored. But when he tried to hold and make fast the image, it escaped him. Nevertheless, he went early to the Jardin des Plantes, thinking that on looking anew at the impression, he should see something which would put him on the track of his vision. In vain, the blurred record was as black as ever. The next
139.
night, he saw the fish again, but with no more satisfactory result. When he awoke, it disappeared from his memory as before. Hoping that the same experience might be repeated, on the third night, he placed a pencil and paper beside his bed before going to sleep.
Okay.
Accordingly, toward morning, the fish reappeared in his dream, confusedly at first, but at last with such distinctness that he had no longer any doubt as to its zoological characters. Still half dreaming, in perfect darkness, he traced these characters on the sheet of paper at the bedside. In the morning, he was surprised to see in his nocturnal sketch features which he thought it impossible the fossil itself should reveal. He hastened to the Jardin des Plantes and, with his drawing as a guide, succeeded in chiseling away the surface of the stone under which portions of the fish proved to be hidden. When wholly exposed, it corresponded with his dream and his drawing, and he succeeded in classifying it with ease.
Bro, so your dream, bro, be real, bro? That's crazy, bro.
An outstanding physician solved the problem of diabetes. Some years ago, I received a clipping from a magazine describing the origin of the discovery of insulin. This is the essence of the article as I recall it. About 40 years ago or more,
See, it ain't even like that. It's a, in 1920s, Dr. Frederick Baden, a brilliant Canadian physicist, I can't, why my damn vocabulary messed up? Physicist and researcher focused his attention on damn. Maybe I'm not a reader, so I'm just trying to read. So if you making fun of me and all that, I'm sorry. I'm trying. He focused his attention on the diabetes at the time. Medical science offered no effective method on arresting the disease. Dr. Batten spent considerable time experimenting and studying the international literature on the subject, but every path he explored, it seemed to be a dead end. One night, exhausted by still another long day of what seemed to be a wasted efforts, he fell asleep. While he lay sleeping, his subconscious mind instructed him to extract the residue from the degenerated plant duct of dogs. The inspiration led him to discovery of insulin, which had helped countless millions of people since.
Dr. Frederick Banting, a brilliant Canadian physician and surgeon, was concentrating his attention on the ravages of diabetes. At that time, medical science offered no effective method of arresting the disease. Dr. Banting spent considerable time experimenting and studying the international literature on the subject. One night, he was exhausted and fell asleep. While asleep, his subconscious mind instructed him to extract the residue from the degenerated pancreatic duct of dogs.
Shit, I didn't even know what the hell that word was. Pancreatic duct of dogs. I still don't know what pancreatic is.
This was the origin of insulin, which has helped millions of people. You will note that Dr. Banting had been consciously dwelling on the problem for some time, seeking a solution, a way out, and his subconscious responded accordingly. It does not follow that you will always get an answer overnight. The answer may not come for some time.
Right.
Do not be discouraged. Keep on turning the problem over every night to the subconscious mind prior to sleep, as if you had never done it before.
So if it don't happen for you that night, just give it time. That's me. I'll be like, damn, it ain't happening. It still ain't happening. Okay, we gonna start at. It does not follow that it will happen overnight. Ooh, give it some time.
One of the reasons for the delay may be that you look upon it as a major problem.
If you continue to experience the delay arriving at a solution, maybe you are thinking of a question you are presenting to your subconscious mind as a major one that will take a long time to solve.
You may believe it will take a long time to solve it. Your subconscious mind is timeless and spaceless. Go to sleep believing you have the answer now. Do not postulate the
Your subconscious mind is timeless and spaceless. Go to sleep believing you have the answer now.
answer in the future. Have an abiding faith in the outcome. Become convinced now as you read this book that there is an answer and a perfect solution for you.
Okay.
How a famous scientist and physicist.
Your subconscious mind is timeless and spaceless. Go to sleep believing you will have the answer now. Do not prostate. I can't. What's postulate? Do not postate that the answer will have to wait to come in the future. Have an abiding faith in the outcome. Become convinced now as you read this book that there is an answer and a perfect solution for you. So believe that it's a perfect solution for you. So when you go to bed, you got that problem or the situation going through, believe that you're going to have that problem solved when you wake up. Like, I'm going to solve this problem soon. So basically have that in your mind.
Escaped from a Russian concentration camp. Dr. Lothar von Blank-Schmidt, a member of the Rocket Society and an outstanding research electronic engineer, gives the following condensed summary of how he used his subconscious mind to free himself from certain death at the hands of brutal guards in a Russian prison camp coal mine. He states as follows: I was a prisoner of war in a coal mine in Russia, and I saw men dying all around me in that prison compound. We were watched over by brutal guards, arrogant officers, and sharp, fast-thinking commissars. After a short medical checkup, a quota of coal was assigned to each person. My quota was 300 pounds per day. In case any man did not fill his quota, his small food ration was cut down.
Jeez.
And in a short time, he was resting in the cemetery. I started concentrating on my escape. I knew that my subconscious mind would somehow find a way. My home in Germany was destroyed, my family wiped out. All my friends and former associates were either killed in the war or were in concentration camps.
141, y'all.
I said to my subconscious mind, I want to go to Los Angeles, and you will find the way. I had seen pictures of Los Angeles, and I remembered some of the boulevards very well as some of the buildings. Every day and night, I would imagine I was walking down Wilshire Boulevard with an American girl whom I met in Berlin prior to the war. She is now my wife. In my imagination, we would visit the stores, ride buses, and eat in the restaurants. Every night, I made it a special point to drive my imaginary American automobile up and down the boulevards of Los Angeles. I made all this vivid and real. These pictures in my mind were...
Y'all see what he using? He using his imagination. The picture in my mind was real and natural as me as to one of the trees in the prison camp. So y'all see he using his imagination.
As real and as natural to me as one of the trees outside the prison camp. Every morning, the chief guard would count the prisoners as they were lined up. He would call out 1, 2, 3, etc. And when 17 was called out, which was my number in sequence, I stepped aside. In the meantime, the guard was called away for a minute or so, and on his return, he started my mistake on the next man as 17. When the crew returned in the evening, the number of men was the same, and I was not missed. And the discovery would take a long time. I walked out of the camp undetected and kept walking for 24 hours, resting in a deserted town the next day. I was able to live by fishing and killing some wildlife. I found coal trains going to Poland and traveled on them by night, until finally I reached Poland. With the help of friends, I made my way to Lucerne, Switzerland. One evening at the Palace Hotel, Lucerne, I had a talk with a man and his wife from the United States of America. This man asked me if I would care to be a guest at his home in Santa Monica, California. I accepted. And when I arrived in Los Angeles, I found that their chauffeur drove me along Wilshire Boulevard and many other boulevards which I had imagined so vividly in the long months in the Russian coal mines.
That's crazy.
I recognized the buildings which I had seen in my mind so often. It actually seemed as if I had been in Los Angeles before. I had reached my goal.
142.
I will never cease to marvel at the wonders of the subconscious mind. Truly, it has ways we know not of. How archaeologists and paleontologists reconstruct ancient scenes. These scientists know that their subconscious mind has a memory of everything that has ever transpired. As they study the ancient ruins and fossils through their imaginative perception, their subconscious mind aids them in reconstructing the ancient scenes. The dead past becomes alive and audible once more. Looking at these ancient temples and studying the pottery, statuary, tools, and household utensils of these ancient times, the scientist tells us of an age when there was no language. Communication was done by grunts, groans, and signs. The keen concentration and disciplined imagination of the scientist awakens the latent powers of his subconscious mind, enabling him to clothe the ancient temples with roofs and surround them with gardens, pools, and fountains. The fossil remains are clothed with eyes, sinews, and muscles, and they again walk and talk. The past becomes the living present, and we find that in mind there is no time or space. Through disciplined, controlled, and directed imagination, you can be a companion of the most scientific and inspired thinkers of all time.
Y'all see what he said? Through discipline, controlled, and directed imagination, you can be a companion of the most scientific and inspired thinkers of all time. So if you do discipline and controlled imagination, you can be a companion of the most scientific and inspired thinkers of all time.
How to receive guidance from your subconscious.
I need that.
When you have what you term a difficult decision to make, or when you fail to see the solution to your problem, begin at once to think constructively about it. If you are fearful and worried, you are not really thinking. True thinking is free from fear. Here is a simple technique you can use to receive guidance on any subject. Quiet the mind and still the body. Tell the body to relax. It has to obey you. It has no volition, initiative, or self-conscious intelligence. Your body is an emotional disk which records your beliefs and impressions. Mobilize your attention. Focus your thought on the solution to your problem. try to solve it with your conscious mind. Think how happy you would be about the perfect solution. Sense the feeling you would have if the perfect answer were yours now. Let your mind play with this mood in a relaxed way, then drop off to sleep. When you awaken,
Let your mind play with this happiness. Let your mind play with this mood of happiness and contentment in a relaxed way, then drop off to sleep.
and you do not have the answer, get busy about something else. Probably when you are preoccupied with something else, the answer will come into your mind like toast pops out of a toaster.
Let's say, if you don't have the answer, get busy with something else. While you are preoccupied with something else, if possible, the answer will pop up in your mind.
In receiving guidance from the subconscious mind, the simple way is the best. This is an illustration. I once lost a valuable ring which was an heirloom. I looked everywhere for it and could not locate it. At night, I talked to my subconscious in the same manner that I would talk to anyone. I said to it prior to dropping off to sleep, "You know all things, you know where that ring is, and you now reveal to me where it is." In the morning, I awoke suddenly with the words ringing in my ear, "Ask Robert."
That's crazy.
I thought it very strange that I should ask Robert, a young boy about 9 years of age. However, I followed the inner voice of intuition. Robert said, "Oh yes, I picked it up in the yard while I was playing with the boys. I placed it on the desk in my room. I did not think it worth anything, so I did not say anything about it." The subconscious mind will always answer you if you trust it. His subconscious revealed the location of his father's will.
144.
A young man who attends my lectures had this experience. His father died and apparently left no will. However, this man's sister told him that their father had confided to her that a will had been executed which was fair to all. Every attempt to locate the will failed. Prior to sleep, he talked to his deeper mind as follows. I now turn this request over to the subconscious mind. It knows just where that will is and reveals it to me. Then he condensed his request down to one word, answer, repeating it over and over again as a lullaby. He lulled himself to sleep with the word answer. The next morning, this young man had an
So basically, man, look, here, when he was going to sleep, basically in your drowsy stage, right, when you tired and your eyes getting heavy, he had like a little lullaby. I need the answer. Where's the will at? Will, answer. Like a lullaby. So then he went to sleep. He got it.
overpowering hunch to go to a certain bank in Los Angeles, where he found a safe deposit vault registered in the name of his father, the contents of which solved all his problems. Your thought, as you go to sleep, arouses the powerful latency which is within you.
Basically, let's go back to what he was talking about. Then he considered his request down to the one word answer. Repeated over and over again like a lullaby. He went to sleep with the word answer echoing in his mind. The next morning, he woke up with a tremendous urge to visit a certain bank in downtown Los Angeles. He was worried about this. Had he heard his father mention it once? Had he noticed a letter from his bank in his father's mail? He didn't know, but he did know that he had to check out this hunch. He went to the bank that morning. Eventually, a bank officer confirmed that there was a safe deposit box in the vault registered in the name of his late father. When the box was opened, the missing will was discovered inside. Your thought as you go to sleep arouses the powerful latency that is within you. So your thought as you go to sleep arouses the powerful latency that is within you. So when y'all go to sleep, y'all need to stop going to sleep with the TV on. Stop going to sleep watching, you know what, that little WWX, stop going to sleep watching that, and arguing. You need to go to sleep thinking about your goals and your dreams, bro.
For example, let us suppose you are wondering whether to sell your home, buy a certain stock, sever partnership, move to New York, or stay in Los Angeles, dissolve the present contract, or take a new one. Do this. Sit quietly in your armchair or at the desk in your office. Remember that there is a universal law of action and reaction. The action is your thought. The reaction is the response from your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is reactive and reflexive. This is its nature. It rebounds, rewards, and repays. It is the law of correspondence. It responds by corresponding. As you contemplate right action, you will automatically experience a reaction or
Let's slow that down. So basically, sit down in an armchair or a desk in your office. Remember, there is a universal law of action and reaction. The action is your thought, and the reaction is your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is reactive and reflective. That is nature. You know how you got winter, summer, fall, and that shit just come natural. It got its own cycle. It's the same thing with your thoughts. Your thoughts are the action, and subconscious mind is the reaction. So you gotta be thinking. Some of us don't be thinking. I ain't gonna lie, I'm one of them. You know? So your action is thought, your reaction is your response from the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is reactive and reflective. That is nature. It rebounds, rewinds, and replays. It follows the law of correspondence. It responds by corresponding. As you contempt right action, you will automatically experience a reaction or response in yourself that represents the guidance or answer of your subconscious mind.
or response in yourself, which represents the guidance or answer of your subconscious mind. In seeking guidance, you simply think quietly about right action, which means that you are using the infinite intelligence resident in the subconscious mind to the
In seeking guidance, you simply think quietly about right action. This means that you are using the infinite intelligence. Make sure you underline stuff that stand out to you. Your subconscious mind, to the point where you begin to use it. In seeking guidance, you simply think quietly about right action. This means that you are using the infinite intelligence residence in the subconscious mind to the point where it begins to use you.
point where it begins to use you. From there on, your course of action is directed and controlled by the subjective wisdom within you, which is all-wise and omnipotent. Your decision will be right. There will only be right action because you are under a subjective compulsion to do the right thing. I use the word compulsion because the law of the subconscious is compulsion.
I don't even know what the word compulsion means. I use the word compulsion because the law of subconscious is compulsion. Alexa, what compulsion mean?
Compulsion is usually defined as the act of compelling, constraint, coercion. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for compulsion.
Give me more definitions of compulsion. I guess she ain't listening.
The secret of guidance. The secret of guidance or right action is to mentally devote yourself to the right answer until you find its response in you. The response is a feeling, an inner awareness, an overpowering hunch whereby you know that you know.
The response is a feeling, an inner awareness, overpowering hunch where you know that you know. You have to use the power to a point where it begins to use it.
You have used the power to the point where it begins to use you. You cannot possibly fail or make one false step while operating under the subjective wisdom within you. You will find that all your ways are pleasantness, and all your paths are peace. Highlights to recall. 1. Remember that the subconscious mind has determined the success and wonderful achievements of all great scientific workers. 2. By giving your conscious attention and devotion to the solution of a perplexing problem, your subconscious mind gathers all the necessary information and presents it full-blown to the conscious.
Giving your subconscious attention and devotion to the solution of a problem, the subconscious mind gathers all the necessary information and presents it full-blown to the conscious mind.
3. If you are wondering about the answer to a problem, try to solve it objectively. Get all the information you can from research and also from others. If no answer comes, turn it over to your subconscious mind prior to sleep, and the answer always comes. It never fails. 4. You do not always get the answer overnight. Keep on turning your request over to your subconscious until the day breaks and the shadows flee away. 5. You delay the answer by thinking it will take a long time or that it is a major problem. Your subconscious has no problem. It knows.
Your subconscious mind has no problem. It only knows the answer. Basically, it's marked that it's delay that started. You delay the answer by thinking it will take a long time.
Knows only the answer. 6. Believe that you have the answer now. Feel the joy of the answer and the way you would feel if you had the perfect answer. Your subconscious will respond to your feeling. 7. Any mental picture backed by faith and perseverance will come to pass through the miracle-working power of your subconscious. Trust it, believe in its power, and wonders will happen as you pray. 8. Your subconscious is the storehouse of memory, and within your subconscious are recorded all your experiences since childhood. 9. Scientists meditating on ancient scrolls, temples, fossils, etc., are able to reconstruct scenes of the past and make them alive today. Their subconscious mind comes to their aid. 10. Turn over your request for a solution to your subconscious prior to sleep. Trust it and believe in it, and the answer will come. It knows all and sees all, but you must not doubt or question its powers. 11. The action is your thought, and the reaction is the response of your subconscious mind. If your thoughts are wise, your actions and decisions will be wise. 12. Guidance comes as a feeling, an inner awareness, an overpowering hunch, whereby you know that you know. It is an inner sense of touch. Follow it. Chapter 13.
That's what's up, man. So guidance comes from a feeling, an inner awareness, an overpowering hunch. So basically like intuition. That was cool. So what I got from this book is what I got from this chapter is before you go to sleep, you got a problem, sit on it, think about it for a couple minutes, put it in your head that, hey, man, we're gonna solve this problem tonight. And you're gonna think about it, meditate on it. I will find an answer. You're gonna think on it. What else? Quiet the mind, relax the body, focus on the thought and the solution of your problem. Chill, wake up. Shit, first thing you do is have a notebook and write it down so you don't forget. That's it. Basically, have a mental picture, back it up by faith. And the guidance, your subconscious mind is basically the awareness, that hunch, and that intuition. That's your subconscious mind. Because you just don't get that. I think I'm right. You don't get that feeling out of nowhere. That's your subconscious mind. So that's this chapter. Tomorrow, we're going to wake up, do chapter 13. We almost done with this book. I got to reread it because sometimes I be forgetting, but I kind of underlined all the stuff that I needed to do. So when I go back and read it, all the stuff will be highlighted and I can just read it. Then the next book we're going to do is Think and Grow Rich. I read this book, but we're going to go over it with y'all because they say you got to read the book about 7 times. This book too, they say you can't read it one time. You got to read it multiple times. But look, hit that like button, comment down below, and I'm going to see y'all in the next video, man. And don't be laughing at me because I miss saying words. I'm not the best reader. But I'm trying, bro. Not even trying, I'm doing it. I'm actually doing it, looking stupid in front of y'all. So I advise y'all to go get this book if y'all thinking that y'all can't do shit in life. Because this book is going to literally tell you about yourself that you can do anything, bro. You can do anything you put your mind to. And if you doubt that you can't do nothing, you put yourself in a hole. Oh, that's book. You literally got to be delusional. You literally got to go against people that be like, man, you think like that? You literally got to suck them off and take them out your life. If you 4'4", you're supposed to be thinking you 7 foot tall. Yes, you got to be delusional with this book, bro. You got to really mean it. You got to chase your goals, bro. For real. So that's what this book, chapter 13. I should read this, but I got work tonight. I got to take me a little cat nap. Other than that, I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Like the button. Like the button. Comment down below. Do shout to the family. Let me know what y'all been learning on this channel. I ain't the best guidance. But shit. Like we say, hey, we ain't on chapter 1. We on chapter 13. We learning. But I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.